Breaking news! It is reported out of every Danganronpa protagonist, the best one in the series is Naegi Makoto. And you know what? I agree with them. You agree with them? Yes, my co-host, I agree with them. Unfortunately, there are those dastardly dissenters that seem to think otherwise. Makoto was boring. There are far more interesting protagonists than him. Definitely the worst protagonist.
Shut the fuck up.
Foolish nonsense! Crew remarks so off the mark that you could sue these people for libel! Libel? Yes, old chap! Libel! However, that's why I'm here today, to set the record straight on a truly wonderful character! And hopefully by the end of this, you, the dear viewer watching this, will agree. If not, you can shove my praise all the way up my butt. Up your butt. Up my butt! And remember, dear viewers, trust us with your agenda! Now, let us begin!
And now, our feature presentation.
Alright, I'm gonna start this video off by saying that I am still in the process of playing the rest of the Danganronpa games. So, why would I make a Danganronpa video without experiencing the other games yet? Because one, this video is discussing the first game only, hence why this is a Makoto video, so I'm not gonna be completely out of my element. And two, I don't need to disparage other protagonists to prop up a guy that I found to be enjoyable to play as. I'll just let the tape do the talking. Anyway, Danganronpa is a wholesome and wonderful series where a bunch of students who go to an incredibly elite high school and live their day-to-day lives trying to get out of a murder game. Oh, did I say wholesome and wonderful? I meant horrifying and bad shit! This series' first protagonist is Naegi Makoto, a pretty run-of-the-mill, ordinary guy who is known as the ultimate lucky student because he was incredibly lucky to get into Hope's Peak Academy. Well, he's got another talent, but we'll get to that in a minute. Today, I'm going to be making the case for why Makoto is one of, if not the best protagonist in Danganronpa. So, if you like the content, hit the like button as it helps me out in the algorithm, and sub if you really enjoy my content in general. I really appreciate the support on the car video, it means a lot to me. And also, there will be spoilers for the first game, so please keep that in mind. And without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's get it started.
On the surface, there doesn't seem to be anything particularly interesting or great about Makoto. In fact, even he wouldn't think there's anything interesting about him. He doesn't have insane hobbies or interests, and his tastes in shows or music tend to be whatever is popular for the moment. In other words, he probably fit right in with those girls you see at Starbucks. You know the ones. Hell, the only reason why he was even accepted into the incredibly prestigious school Hope's Peak Academy, a school that only lets in those who have maxed out a certain talent, was because they usually select one random student to come to the school to, hence why he is called the ultimate lucky student. He was only let in through luck. However, in a school where everyone basically has only focused on developing one talent to the max, forgoing any possible normal social skills, Makoto ironically stands out the most. Why is that? Because he's the only normal person in basically a school full of incredibly talented weirdos. This gives him an edge in connecting with them, for how else is dude able to have bonds with every single person at the school? Even when everyone has lost memories of each other due to Junko's nonsense, there is still one driving force that allows them, in a way, to stay connected, and that is Makoto. And because he can connect to the rest of the cast easily, it gives him an advantage in helping them get through their troubles. Like Leon with his reluctance to admit deep down that he really likes baseball, or Fukawa being able to open up to him with all of her bullshit even with how close off she can be, or Hiro revealing how much of a piece of shit he is. By the way, fuck you, you scamming moron. Even if we exclude some of the school most stuff, we can see this trait in the main story as well. How else is he able to connect to someone like Kirigiri, who is far more reserved emotionally, getting her to open up more? Or get the ultimate dickhead, heir, to willingly work with him during investigations? Or connect with people like the ultimate gang leader and ultimate idol, people who should be worlds apart from him considering how much of a normie he is. Yes, I'm aware he and Maizone knew each other in junior high, but still! It speaks volumes on how easily Makoto can connect with people and have them express their insecurities with him.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's also a testament to his kindness. Every goated character should have kindness in them. If not, you cannot be a true GOAT in my eyes. And to me, Makoto is the kindest character in the game. The guy's ability to connect with people is great, but it can only go so far if it wasn't for how kind and understanding he can be towards others' trials and tribulations. When Fukawa opened up about her bullshit, Makoto helped her find more inspiration and continued to listen to all her romance horror stories. He even helped her inspire her to write a poem that he liked, though it was really dark for him. Hell, during a lot of the free time events, Makoto made promises with many of the Danganronpa cast members of things they do once they leave. For example, with Leon, after expressing that deep down he loved baseball, Makoto promised he'd go watch a baseball match once they got out. Even though Leon would end up killing Mizono and getting executed himself, the dude would forgive him and say that it's not his fault, it's Monokuma's. Even when he learned Mizono was gonna pin the murder on him, he still forgave her and even took on her "I'm psychic" shtick after the trial ended, which I think he should have done more of, by the way, as a way of honoring the dead and keeping them alive. Even when people like Oda and Celeste followed in murders, Makoto never blamed them. He continued to blame Monokuma and vowed that they would leave the school. Even when dude almost died because of the survivors, you know what this man did? He still forgave them. Because at the end of the day, that is who he is. And even though some of the confidants he made promises with are dead, I'd bet my life savings that he'd find a way to fulfill them. Although, I'm not actually a gambling man because fuck Kalshi. Hell, even when confronted by the fact that Junko was ruining their lives and putting them through this hell, when the girl was about to go through her own execution, what was this guy's response? He didn't want her to go through with it. Even despite all that they were put through, Makoto didn't want Junko to die. He didn't want her to experience her long-awaited ultimate despair. Death. Despite everything, he didn't want to see another person die, even with all she had put them through, which makes sense given all the bloodshed already. And plus, it probably isn't a good idea to give the girl what she wants anyways, if you catch my drift. But he was able to get to that point because he was able to counter all the despair Junko threw at him with his hope, his talent for hope, and his work as the ultimate hope. Pretty sure if you say hope 3 times, Junko melts like the Wicked Witch of the West. As we discover at the end of the day, as said by Kirigiri, Makoto is the ultimate hope and therefore the best counter to Junko, who is the ultimate despair, because even as she does everything in her power to make them all feel despair, even as she and her plans repeatedly make them almost lose hope, Makoto is always the thorn in her side that stands tall and never gives up in the face of everything. Even when he is betrayed, even when he sees more and more people become murderers, even when he almost dies, and even when confronted by the fact the world outside the school is fucked with a capital F, does he lose hope? No. Even when it seems that despair will win in the end, Makoto always finds a way to keep hope alive, both for himself and the people around him. The surviving students almost lost to despair. Junko almost won, but she didn't, because Makoto was there to shoot hope bullets into them and allow them to stand tall even in the midst of overwhelming despair. No matter how much despair tries to sink people towards the bottom of the abyss, hope is always there to bring us back to the surface. And no matter how close Junko was to making the others fall, Makoto was always there to break them free and allow the group to stand tall in the end, dealing a final blow to despair and beginning the work to fill a ruined world with hope.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Now, this is a bonus point, but I do want to bring it up. This dude got Riz. Like, straight up, bro got a shit ton of Riz even despite being a normal guy. He got Mizono in his corner, and I'm pretty sure they would have been a couple if she had lived. Asahina, and of course, Kirigiri. But you know what? Those gals are standard, and I don't think they compare to his biggest Riz feat. Getting the ultimate soldier, Junko's sister, and the other half of the ultimate despair, before Junko killed her, to fall in love with him through, and I am not joking, smiling at her. He got a girl down bad for him. You got it bad. Through a fucking smile. A fucking smile. Who the fuck can do that? And the crazy part is, girls who have other love interests also have a thing for Makoto too. Sakura is a good example of this, and I ain't gonna lie, I kinda like this ship a lot. And the other gal is Fukawa who, well, yeah, duh, girls are far better than the ultimate dickhead. Yes, you do, Fukawa. Yes, you do. I know you look like Saki before a makeover from Metamorphosis, but you both don't need to be destined for shitty fates. Ah, fuck it. Just for this video, give me Makoto x Fukawa. Naikawa for short. And also, type in the comment section if you agree with it. Fukawa deserves better. Anyway, is Makoto always the perfect protagonist? No. He makes some mistakes throughout the game, such as not telling Kirigiri about Ogami, or not opening up to Maizono about what he saw in his tape. However, every GOAT has their fuck-ups, and his pauses more than make up for the negatives. From his ability to connect with others, his undying kindness, and his role as the ultimate hope, these all make him an easy protagonist to root for. Even when he appears to be a relatively normal guy, it actually becomes his benefit, as it allows him to stand out more when he helps carry class trials and helps solve the mystery of Hope's Peak. In the end, he stands tall, continuously fighting against despair, cutting through its darkness, and emerging victorious as the light of hope, kicking despair's ass and sending it packing. Until it tries to come back in the next game, in which another protagonist will have to kick its ass again. Again, this is a franchise, so, you know, that's to be expected. But, to summarize, Naegi Makoto is a great protagonist, and is worthy of all the agendas. How was that? Not bad for a debut, eh? Very good, sir. Got any other guys to talk about? But of course, dear chap, for there are many characters worthy of pushing an agenda, and one day, they will all be brought to the light. That, at the end of the day, is my job. Now, the only question is, will you follow me on this journey, old chap? I wouldn't have it any other way. You got the right stuff. Buckle up. Our work has only just begun. Thank you all for watching. This is technically not the debut of a new series, but of the format. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments, and if you like the content, hit the like and sub button, as it helps me in YouTube's fickle mistress of an algorithm. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful day, everyone. Peace.